Hi guys, this class is some of my favorite poses and stretches to work into the hamstrings. Have a couple blocks handy. You may or may not use them, but they're handy to have. When you're ready, we'll begin standing in a forward fold. So feet hips distance apart, take a nice deep bend in the knees, grab opposite elbows for ragdoll. Take enough of a bend in the knees so that your belly can rest on your thighs. Your whole upper body can be heavy. Release any tension in the back of the neck. Take a little sway side to side. Come back to stillness. Release the hands down to the mat. Lengthen up, hands to your shins for a halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine, lengthen out through the crown of the head, draw your shoulders back. Keep a bend in the knees, draw your belly button in. Really reach back with your hips, with your seat bones. Feel a little stretch in the hamstrings. Exhale, we'll fold it back down, forward fold. Ground the right hand in the center in front of your feet. Bend into the right knee and reach the left arm up towards the sky. Gaze up towards the left hand. Start with this little twist to ease into the hamstrings and the back body. Exhale, release the left hand down, replace it where your right hand was. Bend into the left knee. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Right leg is straight. Exhale, release the right hand down. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Flat spine. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step the left foot back. Drop the left knee for low lunge. Inhale brings you up. Reach the arms up. Lift the chest. Sink the hips forward and down. Gaze up. Exhale, release the hands down. Straighten the front knee. Flex the front foot for your half split. Stay nice and tall for the first time here. If you're really tight, you can grab a couple blocks, one on each side, as a place for the hands. Keep this foot active, so think about pulling your pinky toe back towards you, and then kind of suck the hip into the hip socket, and that'll really activate the hamstring. Send the seat bones back, think long, low back, and then think about sending the chest forward versus rounding back here. If you feel like you have the depth, you can deepen your forward fold. Ground into the front foot, bend the front knee, walk your hands forward. Keep your hands grounded on the mat. Hands or fingertips, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then spin the back foot on a 45. We'll come right into pyramid pose. So your feet are on train tracks. They're not directly in front of each other. Again, option to use the blocks here to bring the ground closer to you. Lengthen through the spine here, square the hips. So your hips are square towards the front of the mat. Like long, flat, low back. Lengthen up. Start to feel that right hamstring. Ground down through the left hand. Again, option to use the blocks. Reach the right arm up towards the sky for a twist. You might feel this more in the outer hip. Gaze up towards the right hand. Exhale, release the right hand down. Take a forward fold over the front leg if that feels accessible to you. Inhale, lengthen up, halfway lift. Bend into the front knee, walk the fingertips forward, float the back leg for standing split. So you want to feel the stretch in that right hamstring. Engage the left glute to pull. Use your strength rather than your flexibility to pull the left leg up higher. Send your belly towards your thigh. Exhale, release the left toes down to meet the right. Take a nice deep forward fold here. We'll stay in the hamstrings. Inhale, we'll lengthen up, halfway lift, long flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen up, halfway lift again. Exhale, send the right foot back behind you for low lunge. Drop the back knee, untuck the back toes, reach the arms up, lift the chest, lift the gaze, send the hips forward and down. One breath here. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Straighten the front leg, flex the left toes for your half split. Again, think length through the spine, so send your hips down and back for a long low back. Send the chest forward towards your left toes. Think about pulling that heel towards you to activate that hamstring. It'll deepen the stretch a little bit. If you feel like you have enough length, you can fold the upper body forward over that front leg. Inhale, lengthen up, bend into the front knee, ground down through the left foot. Walk the fingertips forward, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, come into that pyramid pose, back foot on a 45. Adjust your stance as needed, use the blocks as needed. So start with the length here. Think length. Out through the crown of the head, out through the sit bones. When you're ready, you can fold it forward over the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen up, half lift. Ground down through the right hand. Option to use the block as you twist into that twisted triangle. Keep squaring your hips towards the front of the mat. Twist from the navel, gaze up towards the left arm. The left hand. Exhale, release the left hand down. Lengthen up, bend into the front knee, walk the fingertips forward, float the back leg for standing split. Doesn't matter how high you get here, it's all about feeling the stretch, the really active stretch in that left hamstring, and really turning on the right glute to pull the right leg up. Release the right foot next to the left. Fold it forward here. Inhale, we'll reach the arms up. Palms to touch. Exhale, fold it forward. Forward fold. On this forward fold here, think about lifting your hips up towards the sky, sending the weight onto the front of the feet. Your feet active, core engaged. You can pull your upper body closer to your thighs by engaging the core. We're going to flow through that sequence again, but we're going to go a little deeper this time. So, right hand in the center of the mat in front of both your feet. Bend into the right knee. Reach the left arm up towards the sky for a twist. Rotate the palm, so rotate the left arm internally, the palm away from you, and then take a little bind here, if that's accessible for you. So left hand can just be behind the back, or you can go and grab the right thigh and peel the chest open to the left. Feel deeper in the outer hips, a little more in the left hamstring. Release the bind, release the left arm up, and then place the left hand where your right hand was, bend into the left knee, reach the right arm up towards the sky, gaze up towards the right hand, spin the right palm back away from you, internal rotation of that right shoulder, and go for your half bind. So maybe that's just simply behind your back, or you can squeak your hands under your side body and grab onto that left thigh. Use that bind to keep pulling your chest open. Gaze up over the right shoulder. Exhale, release the bind. Place the hands down on the mat. Forward fold. Grab onto your toes. Stick your elbows out and use your fingers to pull your upper body down. So you want to think about bringing your chest down and forward versus trying to just fold in half from the back. So keep sending the hips, the sit bones up towards the sky. Transfer the weight to the fronts of the feet and pull your upper body down. Inhale, release, lengthen up, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back to your low lunge. Rise up here for one breath, lift the chest. Exhale, frame the front foot, straighten the front knee, flex the right toes, come back into that half split. Inhale, we'll lengthen the chest forward. Exhale, fold the upper body over the right thigh. Inhale, lengthen the chest up, halfway lift, and then walk your fingertips over towards the side, both onto the right side of your leg. Start to feel a little deeper hamstring stretch and maybe more through the outer hip. Keep that right leg active. Keep pulling the right leg back into the right hip socket. Walk your hands back to frame the front foot. Ground into the front foot. Tuck the back toes. Spin onto a 45 degree on the back foot for pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale to fold. Keep squaring the hips towards the front of the mat. Breathe into the right hamstring. Keep the breath here. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. This time bring the left hand to the outside of that left ankle, or option to stay with that open twist that we did on the first side. And then take your twisted triangle. From here you can also use a block here. So just be a little deeper. Engage the core, keep lifting up with the upper body, square the hips. Exhale, release the hands down, take a forward fold, and then ripple the spine up for a halfway lift. Bend into the front knee, walk the hands forward, float the back leg for your standing split. Maybe this time you challenge your balance. You can grab the back of that right calf. Keep the strength and activation through the back of the left leg. Keep lifting with the left glute up towards the sky. Slowly release your left foot beside the right. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen up, halfway lift. Send the right foot back behind you. Low lunge, drop the back knee. Rise up, lift the chest, sink the hips forward and down. Exhale, release the hands on either side of the left foot. Send the weight back, send your hips over your right knee. Flex the left foot, half split. Lengthen out through the tailbone. Lengthen the chest towards your left toes. Keep pulling that left heel towards you. get longer, and as you exhale, fold the upper body forward over the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen up halfway along spine, and then walk your right hand across and over to the outside of the left leg. Keep sending the hips back. The left foot is active. This will be a deeper stretch on the outside of that right hip. And a little deeper on the left hamstring. Come back to center. Ground into the front foot, bend the left knee, tuck the back toes, spin it onto a 45 pyramid pose. Square the hips, lengthen up, long spine. Ground down through the outer edge of the right foot. And then as you exhale, fold the upper body forward over the left leg. The legs and the feet active as you allow your upper body to be heavy. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. We're going for a twist, so either keeping the right hand under the right shoulder or cross the right hand to the outside of the left foot, keeping the hips square, twist and open to the left. Gaze down at the mat or up towards the left hand. Exhale, release the arms down. Bend into the front knee, walk the fingertips forward. Engage that right glute to lift and float the back leg up. Standing split. Challenge your balance. Maybe you bring one hand to the back of your left calf. Maybe both. Keep lifting up with the right leg. Keep sending the upper body towards your left leg. Exhale, release. Nice big forward fold here. Inhale, lengthen up, halfway lift. Walk the feet out as wide as the mat. Turn the toes out. Sink down to Malasana. A little release for the hamstrings. Bring your hands to your heart. And take a little sway side to side. Release the pose. Just come straight to a seat. Come seated in the middle of your mat, legs out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall here. If you struggle with tilting the pelvis forward or getting on the fronts of your sit bones, you can sit on a block or a little blanket to help with that. Flex the toes, reach the arms up. Exhale, take a seated forward fold here. So bend the knees if you need to. So if you're stuck like back here like this, bend the knees up. That'll help you tilt the pelvis, come onto the fronts of the sit bones, and bring your chest towards your thighs. So find your depth here. Think about sending your chest towards your feet. Keep a neutral gaze. So keep just like a neutral back of neck. So you don't want to be cranked like this. And you don't want to be like hanging if your whole body's up here. So just keep the gaze super neutral. Once your belly and your chest has hit your thighs, then you can allow to round the upper spine. I'll hold this for a few breaths. Bring your breath into any areas of tension. Allow the upper body to be heavy, but use the core to help you pull your chest down. Slowly, slowly roll yourself back up. Scoot your hips forward. And come down to lie on your back. Hug the knees into your chest. Take a little rock side to side. Release the left leg long down the mat. Hug the right knee into the chest. I forgot to add at the beginning, if you have a yoga strap, now would be the time to go grab it. If that's something you use in your practice. So we'll lengthen the right leg up, clasp the hands behind the thigh. If you don't have a strap, that works. And then take this stretch to your depth. So maybe you're up towards the calf. Or maybe you can grab onto the right toes. But find a comfortable place to grab so that your shoulders and your head can rest on the mat comfortably. So you're at center here in this hamstring stretch, and then just slightly open it up. Not quite an open hip, but just to change the stretch of where it is on the hamstring. So just kind of outer hamstring here, or inner hamstring, I guess. You're moving away from the inside of your body. And then come back to center, and then close the hip just slightly, so you'll feel that more on the outer hip. So you're not actually crossing over the body, it's just a very slight movement. And then release your toes or your strap. Hug the right knee into the chest. And then cross the right knee over the body for a twist. Send the right knee over. So ground the knee if you can. And then allow your shoulder to float. So you want to ground the base for a more secure twist. Gaze out over the left shoulder. Breathe deeply here. Every exhale, maybe you twist a little deeper. Slowly come back to center. Hug both knees in towards the chest. Maybe another little rock side to side. Lengthen the right leg long down the mat. Hug the left knee in. And then lengthen the left leg up towards the sky, clasping the hands behind the left thigh. Option to use your strap here. You can wrap it around the left foot. Take this pose to your depth. So maybe you can reach and grab onto the toes. Gently shift the left leg open just a little, not quite opening the hip, just changing the stretch on the hamstring. Come back through center and then send the left leg slightly over to the right without crossing over your body. Feel a bit more of a stretch on the outer hip, the outer side of the left hamstring. Gently release the leg, the toe, the strap. Hug the left knee in towards the chest. And then cross the left knee over the body for a twist. Try to ground the left knee if you can. So you're grounding the base, and then you can allow your left shoulder to come off. Gaze out over the left shoulder. Reach the left arm out towards the side. Slowly come back to center. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Grab the outsides of the feet for happy baby. So feet are flexed and flat like you're walking on the ceiling. Pull the knees in towards the armpits. Lengthen the tailbone down towards the mat. Option to take a little rock side to side. Release the outsides of the feet. Give your knees one last hug in towards the chest. And then release your legs long down the mat. Allowing your feet to splay out. Take any last movements you might need. Release your arms down by your sides. Draw the shoulders down the back. Palms can face up. Allow your breath to come and go naturally. Take some time here to just be. Release any last things you might be holding on to. Allow your mind to be quiet. Take as long as you need here. Thank you for joining me for this practice. I hope your hamstrings feel nice and stretched out.